Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel, Life-Changing Stories. Very excited that today I'm with Tanya Harris, a life alignment practitioner, a very advanced life alignment practitioner, a teacher, and a facilitator of transformational workshops. She's taken people around the world on transformational journeys, and I'm really excited because she's such a great facilitator in helping people transform. Welcome to the channel, Tanya.
Thank you, Michael. What a nice intro. Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been a life alignment practitioner for quite a long time, big part of my life, like 20 something years. And it's been a journey. So I kind of live my work. It's life alignment is so all encompassing that it
Yes.
kind of takes over your life. So I've made it into,
Yeah,
say
for our
again.
listeners, tell us a little bit about life alignment. What is it?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just jumping right into what I do. So life alignment is a healing modality. It's an energy healing modality. Basically works with the idea is that we are physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual beings. We're multidimensional, right? And with life alignment, what we do is we help the person shift on a mental and an emotional and a spiritual level. We make the changes in the field so that the physical body then mimics the form.
Mm.
As you shift in your emotional body and your mental body, etc., your physical body has to kind of adapt to the changes. So when we say healing, we're not healing the physical body, we're healing the emotional, mental, and spiritual body, right?
Yes.
um, so it's a very non-invasive kind of a therapy. When I say non-invasive, it is not for the faint-hearted. You've got to be really brave to do it.
Yeah.
The reason why is because you go very deep into your own personal story. So it's a deep dive into the subconscious mind to find out like what's sitting there, what's the patterns that you keep repeating, what's the things blocking you in your life.
Yeah.
And when I say it's all encompassing, why it's like my whole life, because we work with it in homes, we work with it in our land, our gardens, we work with
My,
it. I
yeah,
mean, this
my
takes over.
specialty is with businesses and
Oh
organizations.
yes, of course. Yes. That's a big part of it. Yeah. I haven't actually worked with businesses for quite a while, but there was a time, like it's funny how it works. Say you go into like stages. There was a
Yes.
stage where I did it for like 2 years, was just the focus was business. Yeah. At the moment, my focus is emotional work and online work. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
quite
so
different.
tell me a little bit about that because as a traditional therapist setting, you
Mm.
require the person to be present. But now,
Yes.
with advances of technology and understanding energy, we can facilitate change in different ways, like online. How do you do
Exactly.
that?
Yeah. So we've always worked long distance. We've always had clients who, for whatever reason, needed balances when they weren't present. So we were, I think it's an old ability that we have. We used to use hair samples, so DNA of the
Correct?
person.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and so we used to, because we know energy has no limits, right? There's no time space kind of limitation to energy. And when COVID hit and everything went online, I'd already been working a little bit online with international clients. And when COVID hit, it was like, okay, hang on, we still need to help people. What do? We go online. And so all my local clients, all my regular local clients needed sessions, we weren't allowed to visit each other. So we jumped online. And because of that, when COVID was over, when lockdowns and all that stuff was over, I realized, you know what, I actually don't need to live in the city anymore. I can work online all the time. So it was such like an awakening for me to realize, I don't actually need to be in the city. So my husband and I moved out of the city and moved to a little tiny place called Oudtshoorn,
Yes.
which, yeah, which is amazing.
Like,
And so for the last 3 years, I've only been seeing clients online, and it's amazing. I mean, clients feel the energy on the other side. They go deep into process. It's just, I love it.
yes.
Yeah.
What's your story? How did you get into the space of helping other people? I mean, you obviously went through some kind of change in order to
Yeah.
help other people. What was that?
Yes. Yeah, I think most of us get onto this journey through our own trials and dark nights of the soul kind of thing. Hey, yeah. So for me, what was my trigger was panic attacks, actually.
Oh,
And yeah, it was intense. Jason and I, my husband, um, we were working in Mozambique for a little while, for like 8 months. And during that time, at some point, oh, and by the way, I used to be a smoker back then. And at some point, and we were living in a tiny little place called Nacala, like way up on the north coast of Mozambique, in the middle of nowhere,
oh,
with no English speaking people around. I mean, couldn't communicate with anyone,
that's
no
right.
hospitals. There is a hospital, I'll put it in inverted commas, because it doesn't have a roof. It's like, it's,
Oh,
it's broken down building that counts as a hospital. Anyway, so the next minute, in the middle of the night, I go into massive panic, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to name it. All I knew was that I couldn't breathe. So I
oh,
went into this, like, I can't get any oxygen into my lungs. And the more you panic, of course, the more you panic, the worse it gets, which I didn't know back then. So I phoned my mom. I said, I can't breathe. What do I do? Jason's panicking. I'm panicking. And my mom says, oh, were you bitten by a spider in your lungs? I'm like, that's not helping. So anyway, so I didn't know what to do. Eventually the panic attack subsided. It was like the worst night of my life. I prayed. I prayed to God and I said, if you help me live, if I live, I will give up smoking. I made a deal with God, which then I
okay.
did. So I had to give up smoking. So it was like
A
a blessing
win-win.
in disguise. So
A win-win. Yes.
a win-win, yeah. And yeah, so the next day, I was still very jittery. I mean, like that, it was such a hectic thing, and I didn't know what it was. I just thought my lungs were collapsing or something. And so now we're looking for help. We go to the local hospital, and it was like absolute horrific situation. I mean, people were like queues and queues of people,
Wow.
mommies with babies, and just like queues of people, and nurses sitting drawing blood. So that they said, okay, they need to draw my blood, and they need to take a urine sample to see now what's happening with me. So I'm sitting in this queue, and I can see, like, as I'm getting closer and closer, I can see what they're doing to draw blood. They've got trays, silver trays, or probably stainless steel trays,
Yeah.
and they've got these needles that in a solution that they're just rotating.
Oh, my
And
word.
and I'm sitting there and I'm going, I don't want to be, I don't want to be a snob or a whatever you call it, but I can't. I mean, like with AIDS in Africa and all those stories, there's no
Gonna get
ways I'm going to
infected.
share a needle with everybody
Yeah.
because that's basically what they're doing. And anyway, so it gets to my turn. She rips out a packet with a brand new needle, opens the packet in front of me. So I said, how come I get a new needle and everybody else is rotating? She says, because I paid my little R5. They don't have R5 to pay.
Oh,
Whatever. I think
man.
Cash. I remember. It's like, I can't, yeah, I think it was Cash or something, their currency. It was like R5. Sure. So, I mean, that put me into another panic.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting there panicking, getting my blood drawn. And then I had to give a urine sample. Jason was with me, luckily. So I had to go to the bathroom, which didn't have a roof or anything. It had a door that closed at least. Anyway, so I managed to do a little urine sample for them as well. A few days later or a week later, they come back with the results. Now I've got malaria.
Oh,
So, okay, yeah. So, okay, I've got malaria. So they give me these massive tablets to take now to knock the malaria out of my system, which knocked my system even more. So now I'm already fragile. I'm having major anxiety, been told I've got malaria, and now I'm like being knocked even further down. Anyway, cut a long story short, eventually, after 8 different doctors, to Durban, to a bigger city, Nampula, and I mean, like a whole mission, 8 doctors later, eventually I got to a doctor who said, it sounds like you're having panic attacks. So I was
wow.
like, okay, no, this is not mental. This is physical. I can't breathe. And she said, okay, you just take this little tablet, put it under your tongue, and if you feel better, then we know we're on the right track. So I was like, okay. So she gave me a Xanax, took the
Okay.
Xanax. put it under my tongue, and immediately my whole system just calmed down. I was like, oh no, this is mental. Oh, no. This is like the worst thing, because now, like, it's something like neurological.
Yeah.
So back then, because this was like 25 years ago or so, back then people didn't know about panic attacks. It was like there was nothing on it. And we didn't have smartphones, and I mean, the internet wasn't as it is today. So I went to the library to go and like research, now what is a panic attack, what is anxiety, and I got to all the things about meditation, and you've got to learn to keep calm, etc. Anyway, so my one friend who had been going to Life Alignment said to me, you know what, forget about it, just go for a Life Alignment session. And so when we got back to Cape Town, I went to Arlene Hanks. Arlene? Yeah, she lives in Australia now, but she used to live in Cape Town. And the very first session on the healing bed, she tapped into my inner child, or she helped me tap into my inner child. And I sobbed and cried. And it was just like the most cathartic kind of experience. I hadn't cried for years because I thought if I cry, I'm showing them they're winning, so I would like be this soldiers don't cry, what's it, cowboys don't cry kind of a person. And it was just amazing. So for a year, I went for Life Alignment sessions with Arlene to work on my panic attacks and the anxiety. And I used to carry my Xanax with me. It was like my safety guard, in my handbag. I never took it like the doctors told me to. Like they tell you to take it like daily, and I don't know how many pills a day. I just took it when I felt anxiety or panic coming on.
Yeah.
And so when I went for this healing with Arlene, after about a year, I realized I haven't actually used my tablets for so long. And then I was like, now the challenge is to throw them away because they're like your safety net, you've got them in the handbag and they're there for in case. But I was like, I haven't actually had a panic attack. It's been amazing. Anyway, so eventually I got rid of my pills, and it's been like from there on, because I was blown away by Life Alignment, I kept referring everybody to Arlene. I was like, you've got it, everything, everybody with a problem, go for Life Alignment. And eventually, one of the other teachers said to me, if you're so passionate about it, why are you not practicing? So I was like, I've got so many issues. How can I be a healer if I've got so many issues? Yeah. And she said to me, we all have issues. We're human beings. Of course, you've got issues. And it's your issues that's going to help you help other people. And from there on, that was Rennie Armbruster. I don't know if you know Rennie. Yes, yeah. So, and from there on, in that moment, I made the decision, that's it. I'm learning Life Alignment. I'm going all the way. I want to learn all of it. I want to be a teacher. I want to do it all. So she kind of opened the door for me, yeah. And yeah, since then, I've been just loving it. I mean, eventually, after 2 or 3 years of being a student and learning and, starting case studies and that, eventually I gave up my job and I started doing Life Alignment full time. And it's been quite a journey.
Yeah. And you were quite, you fulfilled quite a leadership role, setting up the organization in South Africa, taking that on.
Yeah. So yes.
It was quite
I'm a bit of an A personality, I think.
Real good.
So I see a problem and you want to fix it, So so it's been I've been quite put quite a teacher hat on. So I've been quite involved with like the curriculum and like how students qualify and all that kind of stuff, which I love doing,
Invaluable.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. You've done so much for the organization. It's really great.
Thank you.
And now you focus a lot on teaching. That's that part of giving back, which is quite nice, and helping others to learn the technique.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So because online as well.
I do, yeah. The idea is that like you can do one-on-one clients and you can maybe do 3 or 4 clients in a day, but that's limited. But if you teach other people to do it, they can help people as well. So that's like your range of influence like multiplies exponentially. So by helping others or teaching others to help others, you just spreading it. And this is the thing with Life Alignment. It's such an unknown therapy, but it's like such a powerful therapy. So it's like, how do you get it out there? You teach others to also do it, because it really needs to be out into the public. People need it.
Yeah, people need to experience it. I mean, we all remember our first Life Alignment treatment. It's amazing.
We
still remember it, all those details. Quite incredible. Yes.
Yeah,
So for people who want to it and people who want to go on that journey, what would you advise them?
Well, there's different ways. I would say, first of all, go for a session yourself. Go for your own healing to start the process. And then if you resonate with the modality, absolutely. There's so many teachers around the world. You teach as well, right?
Yeah, I do. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. So, I mean, there's teachers around the world. So wherever you are in the world, you can find someone, or online if you need to. It's always nicer in-house, because working with the pendulum and muscle testing and all those kind of things is very good to be on the body. But I'm actually in the process of developing it's a bit hush hush still because it's like very new, but I'm busy developing an online course. Yeah. So I'm not sure when you're putting this video out, but I hope it's not for a little while, because it's still a bit hush hush, because I'm doing a trial run on it. And I'm starting the trial run now at the end of the month, where it's going to be focused on the emotional and the processing work, and doing it online with the vortex cards. So using Circle of the Tree of Life to do the energy shift, while using the questions during balancing to take the person through their journey. And then I've added a little bit on of what I call the inner world journey. So I've added, yeah, so you were part, yeah, I remember you were part of that with the.
Yes, I remember you did
Yes.
a whole series of the inner world, and it's so nice when we can not only just do a modality, when we can offer so much more of our wisdom and
Yes,
education to
yes,
even
exactly.
fuller. So I love that. So you're
Yeah, well,
going to be developing that, which is great.
yeah, yeah. I've been working hard on it. I've got a manual of 120 pages already. So it's nearly finished. I've got a meeting with Jeff next week to get everything approved and make sure I've got it on, I'm on the right track.
That's
Yeah, so it'll be
incredible. And
interesting.
obviously, we'll leave all your details below. So if people want to connect with you, they can email you and get in touch with all of that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. So give us a pearl of wisdom of what you've learned. It doesn't have to be from life alignment, just maybe from life or your experience of transformation. What would you like to share with our viewers today?
Um, I think for me, the first thing that pops into my mind is that everything on the outside is a reflection of the inside. And by outside, I mean even your body, whatever's going on in your physical body is a reflection of what's going on in all the other states of your being. So my pearl of wisdom here would be not to take anything personally, but to take everything as a mirror trying to tell you something. And when I say mirror, I don't mean necessarily a perfect reflection. It could be the opposite reflection as well. So when you get irritated with the person who is maybe loud and uninhibited, and all of that, when you get irritated with that person, it's probably showing you a part of you that you're denying. So you're probably denying your own uninhibited loud person, and for some reason, maybe in your childhood you were told you weren't allowed to be loud because children aren't heard or whatever. So now it irks you on the outside world because there's a resonance on the inside. So anything that irks you on the outside world, anything that invokes an emotional response on the outside world, is an inside job. You've got to look inside to find out what it's all about.
It's
It's just
beautiful.
mm.
Yes, and I explain it when I used to do workshops on this exact same topic. I used to tell people how you're sitting at a dinner party and then you notice how someone's picking their nose and you get so irritated. And why is not no one else is noticing that this person is picking their nose? And then you go home, and if you're aware, you realize you only notice them picking their nose because you're the one that picks your nose all the time. And
Okay.
like whatever you see in the outside is just all
Yes.
being reflected. That's such a great starting point for anyone who wants to go on a life-changing journey. It's
Yes, yes.
to know where you are and start to realize, oh, my body's feeling lethargic, my energy
Yeah.
is low, I'm not feeling happy at work, I'm not feeling happy
Mm.
anywhere, and that should be the motivation to say enough is enough. Let me go
Yeah,
help.
absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah. And and even like very physical, like say you've got oh, I can't think of a disease now. Say you've got a kidney stone,
yeah,
um, that kidney stone is a opportunity for you to go within and see what's actually going on there, because all our organs are also part of our inner world and parts of our emotional world, etc. Because each organ in your body vibrates at a particular frequency on the physical, but it also has an emotional, it also has a mental, and it also has a spiritual resonance. So when you can figure out what that kidney is trying to tell you, why has it become so dense that it's created a stone, that's a problem. And kidney, it could be, and each organ has a different emotion, a different mindset, a different spiritual cause. With my panic attacks, what I found out was it was very interesting, because when I went into like what's happening physically and then what's happening emotionally, mentally, etc., the interesting part was the spiritual. On a spiritual level, it's a psychic attack.
Oh, wow.
So that really blew my mind, because on a physical level, of course, it's the neurological system. The GABA is contracted. It's not firing the way it should be. So on a physical level, there's a lot going on neurologically. But on an emotional level, it's the feeling of being trapped.
Yeah.
And then when you move out to the spiritual, it's actually an attack. There is actually a psychic attack happening. Yeah. So you have to also learn how to protect yourself, etc. Yeah. Very interesting.
I think life alignment goes into it way, way deeper. But I think for all of us, that first start was Louise Hay, which kind of connected the emotions to the body. I mean, that book, You Can Heal Your Life, was such a transformation in my life.
Yeah.
A powerful book. And then life alignment, just taking that much, much deeper and finding out the actual story behind it. And then once that story, I mean, that's where the magic happens, right? We clear all history and move forward peacefully. It's so amazing.
That's it. Get the organ back to its optimal vibration by releasing all those feelings and all those thoughts and all those energies that just don't belong in it. Yeah.
And then we talk about the shift, that magic shift, that once we clear that and the organs vibrating and our lives vibrating, we have that shift, which just is a whole new life. It's a whole new way.
It is.
Living in alignment with spirit, with ourselves, with our soul. Really powerful stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, I'm working on a metaphysical chart. In fact, it's going to be quite a few charts from years and years of experience with clients. I've been making notes, when what the kidney means for this client and what it means for this client, because everybody's so unique. And there is a pattern of what these organs mean. So I'm actually busy making a chart for each of the systems of the body, and then going into the systems and all the different organs in that system. So it's going to be really good. But it's a work in progress. You can see I'm a librarian at heart, eh?
Well, never stop. We need your knowledge and we need your wisdom.
Thank you, Michael.
It's been wonderful chatting with you, Tanya. It's always so pleasant. You really always put me in such a good mood. So
thanks.
Thank you for joining us, and maybe we'll have you on the channel again one day.
Awesome. Thank you. It's been wonderful being here.
Thank you for joining us and listening to another life-changing story. And if you want to get to Tanya, her details will be in the description, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.